Good evening and welcome to another video by Rideshare UK. Right, over the weekend IWGB have notched up a gear, and this is to go alongside the congestion charge demo they've been doing for an incredible 8 weeks right now, and there's not even any sign of any letdown, and everyone is starting to notice this. Mainly the police and the TFL. To them it's become like a rash that's just not going away. So what's been happening? On Friday, IWGB have officially served a legal notice to TFL, and from my understanding, or what I think it is to say, look, you cannot discriminate against the private hire industry or the minicab industry for you guys in London, and also importantly the drivers. You know, you cannot discriminate the minicab industry and its drivers. So I'll talk a bit about that in this video, and more importantly in this video I'll be comparing the black cab industry to the minicab industry. And this is not to say that I'm against the black cab industry, you know, that is not the point of this video. But you look at the minicabs, the black cabs history, and you know, these guys have been around for centuries. You know, if you could actually trace back when he was actually formed, and this was actually at the time of the Civil War, you know, Charles I. So you could see frankly how long these guys had it so good for so long. I mean, there was even a saying at one stage that no one earns more than the black cab driver, you know, and they did at that time. And even now, you know, they earn considerably more than a private hire driver. And so we're going to talk a bit about that. But at the same time, you know, they've been going through a rough patch themselves. The unions falling apart, mainly in the courts, and some of them are even locking up shops as well. So the black cab industry are, you know, they're basically, the drivers are fighting for their future, you know, and but that is their battle, and we're going to talk about the battle as a private hire driver, what ours is. And you look at the TFL. Now, they've always acted as a protection racket, you could call it, on behalf of the black cabs. You know, they've guarded the black cabs from any competition. You only have to go back and see that, you know, in the 1960s was the first private hire firm that was opened in London, Addison Lee. I think it was called something else before. And only back to 1998 when TFL actually recognized the industry itself. You know, and this hence the problem why TFL have a lot of problem, you know, with drivers recruitment, well, the DBS checks and all them sort of things, far more than any other council, is purely because all this time they just moved the private industry to one side, and they acted as a protection racket for the black cabs, and this is the problem we're having today. And there also, I mean, there's a board that actually represents the industry, the private hire, the black cabs and everything. But those are heavily backed by the black cabbies themselves and others whose main objective is to actually demonize the private hire industry. You know, you can look at the signage actually. The TFL private hire signage. You know, they're only given one sticker here, one sticker at the back, and you can't even tell, you know, if this is a minicab or is this just a normal car. You know, it's done on purpose, and it was purely done at that time by the guys at the board who are black cab biased. And I think what IWGB are saying here is they need to go inside that board, because TFL have categorically said no, we don't want a union representing us. IWGB are saying, look, we need to represent the drivers inside the board. You know, they need to have a voice. And who's giving that voice? TFL are not giving that voice for the drivers. The black cabs then definitely going to give no voice for the mini cab industry. And then you got the likes of the operators who really should be giving the voice for the drivers inside that boardroom. But do you think Uber's going to give side with the drivers? You know, do you think Addison Lee is even going to give side to the drivers? So there is a need for a voice that needs to be heard inside that room. You know, and you're talking about, you know, over 100,000 drivers in London, which are TFL registered. They need representation. You know, and you got to have a representation at this decision-making level, because this is where everything happens. And when you don't have a voice at that level, it's a simple institutional discrimination. That is what is happening. And why is TFL not happy to have IWGB inside that room? Because every other council has it. What is this so safeguarding that you know, I mean, they are not willing to have IWGB represent them, represent the drivers in that room? I mean, as I said, everyone else is having it in Birmingham. IWGB is represented by Steve, and he's been going out into these meetings in Birmingham City Council and arguing with them for a lot of things. And the council, you know, what the council have proposed, and some of these are being actually halted because of drivers' views. For Steve being there and arguing that, you know, this is what the actual drivers are saying. Now, why is that not happening in London? Why is someone not representing the drivers inside TFL boardroom? Anyway, back to London. So let's discuss why are black cabs being exempt from congestion charge in London, where a private hire car isn't. And the biggest argument has been that the black cabs are wheelchair accessible, correct? Really? Well, I went to one of these one of these disability awareness meeting that Uber does, and at that meeting I was told that a person with disability, you cannot discriminate. You know, you can't categorize disability. But what we find here right now, TFL are doing, is saying if your disability equates to being wheel-bound, then you're congestion charge free. If you got other form of disability, you are not congestion charge. Surely that can't be right, can it? Well, can it? But let's round this video up. I think there is a big case for IWGB to actually win this over, get them and the drivers that's been really suffering over the last years. You know, we as drivers, especially in London, want our voices heard. You know, you're not doing any favors by blocking a group that wants to represent us, and that's mainly because no one is. You know, as I said before, you know, TFL not representing us. The black cabbies are not representing us. You know, our own operators are there, you know, probably wanting to more do damage to us than represent us. So we really need to, you know, get ourselves heard. Now, IWGB has started a crowdfunding site for you guys to donate, really, and you know, let's get this started. I was searching through the website. Actually, I think they've already reached half of what they expected to rise, but that still is not enough. You know, I want every single one of you to go out, you know, after this video, go and donate. You know, you need to do this. You know, it's for your own benefit. There's no one else you're doing it for. You know, share the video, you know, comment on it if you want, and also donate afterward. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye bye now.